Good afternoon, it's Lindsay, and I was making a video and it got cut off. It's Friday, December 6, 2024, and I'm just doing a documentation to notate about some of this harassment stuff that's ongoing. So every time I make a change in my life for my own well-being or personal path of well-being and development, there's always people who disagree or want to try to hinder that or try to stop me from doing what I'm doing. And that's one way you can catch these people and know that they're doing this to you is because they how they react to what you do. And first of all, at my age, I don't need to ask permission from people to do what I do. I'm not obligated under any contract to do something at a certain location, for example, and if I don't want to be at a certain place, then I just don't go or I quit going. It's that simple. Why would a person want to stay in an environment that's toxic for them and that causes problems when they're being gang stalked and mobbed and exploited? Why would anybody want to stay in that kind of environment unless you're crazy? So they can turn the tables and say that I'm the one who's crazy or mentally ill or whatever. No, it's the opposite. It's that I don't tolerate that kind of bullshit, lies and games that these people do. And of course, it's all tied up, intertwined with that probate stuff. And it makes me so infuriated that fucking bitch Pamela Ray King, which is that stupid woman in Kerrville, Carter's attorney, whatever, was a fucking lying bitch. And this Melinda Luna, who was an attorney ad litem, well, whatever, I suppose she was trying to help me, but that stupid Pamela Ray King bitch, who's like a fucking actor. I mean, these people are all actors, they're just stupid fucking actors, and they were basically exploiting me and mocking me, using the whole court system to do this to me. And it's obvious. I'd have to be a total moron to not understand what they were doing or how they were trying to exploit me financially, emotionally, and otherwise. Going way back to my past to try to shame me and humiliate me for things that happened way years ago in my 20s. So obviously it's about money that they don't want me to know about, or things that happened years ago that there was money involved. And that's clearly what's going on. And so they have to use the excuse that Alan, my dad, died without a will, which is complete, utter bullshit. Of course he had a will. And yes, I believe I'm pretty sure he was my biological father. And so that Carter, stupid sibling asshole, got away with his money. And yeah, I call him a stupid asshole sibling because that's what he is. He's a little fucking narcissistic liar. And he's not even, he's a half sibling. He's not related to Alan. He's not related. I believe he was adopted by that family. So, and other things that they've been doing to try to insult me. My mother, I don't talk to her at all, hardly. And when I do, it's usually just something superficial. She acts like she gives a shit, which she never does. She doesn't care about me or my life or anything that I do. She never has. It's only about financial control with me. And so she calls a couple days ago when I'm in the middle of trying to do something. I'm busy, I'm trying to drive, I'm in a parking lot, so she has me tied up trying to talking my ear off about something that I couldn't fucking care less about. How she's talking about how she's in Malibu with Carter and his, what, it's like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing with him or his kids. I couldn't care less, bitch. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit, so what? She just tries to make me feel bad all the time, just rubbing in my face, because that's what narcissistic people do. And she's a covert, malignant, narcissistic bitch liar who I don't feel bad about what I'm saying about her because she's a bitch. It's not my fucking fault that I was born. She's a fucking bitch, and she's irresponsible, and she's treated me like shit my entire life. So fuck her and fuck her entire family. I don't give a shit about any of them. I really don't. They've treated me horribly for the most part, and mocked me, exploited me to no end, insulted me in every kind of way imaginable. And I have nothing to offer them or nothing to give, and I don't, I couldn't care less what they do. I don't give a fuck. I don't expect to ever see her again. To me, she's already dead. I don't ever want to see her again. And I don't care. I really don't care. As long as I can erase that woman from my mind, as well as her entire toxic family, I don't give a shit. I still talk to Gwen, and that's about it. And Gwen and Chip, but even then, that's very strained relationship. But as far as Kenny, I couldn't care less. Like I said, to me, she's already dead, and I don't plan on ever seeing her again. And I already saw her for the last time at that court hearing in Kerrville when she and Jose were sitting there playing fucking Scrabble in the courtroom waiting room, just showing off, acting like a bitch. And I know that's the last time that I'll ever see that woman alive. And quite frankly, that's fine with me, because that's the way I'll remember her, is just acting like a cold-hearted bitch that she is, playing her fucking Scrabble on her phone and just ignoring me. So fuck her. You know, whatever fucking kind of mother you are, you're a pathetic excuse for a mother. Not my fucking fault that you had me out of adultery. So it's not my goddamn fault. And I don't need to be shamed or blamed the rest of my life because of your fucked up shit. So yeah, I'm sorry, but people like that who have kids and they blame and they scapegoat their fucking kids because of their fucking sexual innuendos and crap. It's not my fault. It's just I don't have to be shamed by the entire goddamn society because of her fucked up mistakes. And that goes for any person who was born from some goddamn adulteress or born from whatever bastard child, whatever. They're the ones who have to pay the consequences of what your fucking dumb parents did. And society treats people like shit. I don't care what anybody says, but it's a big struggle. It's always been that way for me. I've always been shamed and harassed and stalked and mobbed and exploited since I can remember, mostly very perverted sexual ways, because my mother would tend to get involved with these asshole, pig, narcissistic, Jewish perverts who would either sexually harass me or exploit me sexually and basically molest me, and my mother didn't give a fuck. That Bob fucking Sussman is one such example, and she couldn't have cared less what that man was doing to me. So whatever, she's a bitch. She doesn't care about anybody but herself. She's basically a satanic bitch, and so is her. There's something wrong with these people. I've always had God, a spirit of God in myself, and I believe in God and a higher power, which they make fun of me about that. All they do is try to drag me down. They're just evil people. I see that they want me to be some kind of a prostitute who's on drugs, who has bad health, who's poor. That's what they want for me. And I see that, and it's pretty obvious that I need to stay far away from these people. I don't care if I'm related to them or not. All they've done is cause me problems. They have nothing to offer me at all of any benefit. I see that. They're just mean people. And they have their own fucking problems, mostly because they can't, because of, it's not my fault. It's not my fault, and whatever. I give up trying to even be nice to these people because they couldn't have fucking cared. They don't care. They never cared about me, and they never will. The only people who did were Peaches and Pops and my dad, Ben, or my alleged father, Ben Baldwin, and Alan. Those are the only people who ever cared about me, and that happens to be on my dad's side. As far as my mother's side, they're just fucking toxic as can be. They make fun of me so much to the point that I have to laugh at how, it's like all I can do is laugh at it with them and let them do their horrendous mockery of me and exploitation, making fun of every little thing about me that they can. Let them do it, because I don't care. I realize that that's always going to be the way it is with these people. And so I don't care. I've learned to just accept it for what it is and just stay away from these kinds of people as much as I can. And so, I don't have any family. I don't care. I don't have kids. I don't want any, never did. And I'm okay with it. It's these people who always want to try to interfere with anything that I'm doing for myself, especially my mother, who is still trying to financially control my inheritance, what little I got out of it, because that fucking asshole sibling stole it. So what little I did get out of it, she's trying to steal that and control my life. So I'm just, whatever. It is what it is, but it's horrible, and there's nothing. It's like, what am I supposed to do about it? Nobody believes me. Nobody understands the amount of damage that these toxic, malignant narcissistic parents do to their kids, especially mothers to their own daughters when it comes to money and power and control. They're just horrible people, horrible. And yeah, I imagine most people can't begin to understand what I'm talking about because you haven't been through this kind of fucking hell and fire like I have and succeeded and come out alive. But I've survived, and I commend myself for being a survivor of this abuse because it's been horrible. It's been an awful, horrible experience, and all the people that she's paid to gang stalk me and to fucking smear campaign and to exploit me sexually in every kind of way, you know, the fucking handlers that have come in and out of my life so that this bitch can have control over my money and try to tell everybody that I'm crazy and mentally ill because of her fucking greed and lies. And same with her fucking son. And I know exactly what the fuck they did or what they've done to me, and nobody's gonna try to convince me otherwise about their toxicity. So anyway, you know, she has the audacity the other day to start saying something about how my dad's side, my grandfather, Pops, his father apparently, or his grandfather, one of the two, was like somebody who was a doctor in Virginia, a physician, and this was back when they were on horseback. Like he was a doctor and he would go to his patients' homes on horseback, and at some point he got addicted to, this is just what she said because apparently this is what somebody found out by doing some research about the family, about that side of the family, something that somebody found out. And so she starts telling me about it, and she's like, well, and then he apparently got addicted to opium or opiates that he was administering to his patients, and he got into some kind of a squabble with a constable or sheriff in some small town in Virginia and ended up shooting him and killing him. And then he spent the rest of his life in some kind of mental asylum or something along those lines, and he died in some mental hospital. But he shot the sheriff or constable because he was high on drugs or something, that he was angry and ended up getting into a fight and killed the man. So she starts telling me that, and I'm like, okay, why are you telling me all this stuff right now? What's your fucking point, you know? What are you trying to get? What's your point, you know? So she's just trying to get me to react to that.